My father used to say, "Watch this man."
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
Disney insider WDW Pro recently speculated on.
Time and time again, he's broken big entertainment news live on the air.
I've been following WDW Pro and his track record for years. If you want to find out what's on the horizon for theme parks, Pro is where you go.
Morty, let's check in on Rian Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay. I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray?
Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, he was okay, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? They get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah.
I hate it.
What would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Blimey, you fools.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird. Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you, always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
Alright, everyone, put on your coffee glasses.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Paul.
Autobots, roll out.
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
We're gonna do it!
Leroy Dragon! All right, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man.
Are you okay?
They'll never take our freedom!
From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies in the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! You know, Jonas, I thought that hitting 100K and within 15 minutes of that, also getting our first million-view video of the channel, I thought that nothing could get me down today, Jonas. I thought that we were impervious. We were invincible, perhaps. I was proven wrong. More lesbian witches singing. More lesbian witches singing.
What's the deal here? Who's that messing up everything?
Yeah, Disney. Disney's messing up everything, Jonas.
It's been Disney all along. I set you up there. Anyways. By the way, it just occurred to me the other day that Agatha all along is essentially just the Munsters theme, and they put the words about their stuff on top of the Munsters theme. And the Munsters theme, well, it's much better. Here,
Jonas,
I'll demonstrate.
I gotta.
Anyway, sorry.
No, go ahead. That was better than what we watched. So we've got an excellent panel coming up as people are getting ready to come on. Just want to say to you, this is cruel. This is cruel, and I very much regret having accepted to do this. Where is Lorne? Is Lorne here yet, Jonas? No, he's not. He better be here. He better.
I don't know that. Did Lorne you told Lorne he was supposed to be here. Did Lorne actually say yes? I'm pretty sure
I told Lorne we would dedicate any money sent his way to children with horrible diseases. He's supposed to be here. And frankly, I think we have horrible diseases after watching this. I have no idea, folks, how anybody who didn't watch WandaVision will understand a second of this. And if you watched WandaVision, I don't think it's going to help very much.
All it's going to do is remind you that at least the first few episodes of WandaVision were fun. This was are we getting into the review yet? We've got people who
Jonas, we're going to bring on the panel, but I just want to say I thought it was going to be boring. Listen, when my sources told me that this was going to be terrible and we were going to suffer, I still didn't think it was going to be Acolyte level bad. Jonas, I was wrong. I was wrong, Jonas. Oh, how wrong I was. Why have we done this to ourselves? Why?
I'm not sure I completely agree with you on episode 2, which is where this should have started in the first place. Actually, I take it back. Nothing happens until 30 minutes into the first episode. There is nothing that you couldn't guess from watching the trailer. And if you told AI to extend the trailer out to 30 minutes, you would get whatever this was. It was so boring, so bland, so overdone. And they took the worst part of the concept of WandaVision and said, you know what? What if it's a boring procedural? There's nothing emotionally that goes on in the whatever.
Jonas, bring on the panel. Bring on our fellow sufferers, please.
First of all, we need to bring in a man. Oh, we're not going to bring in that man.
The person you were about to bring in just dropped. Oh, that's great. The suffering is such they can't even handle it. Bring on the bearded one, please, Jonas. Bring on the bearded one.
Bring him on. He's chosen the way of pain. This one. It's Gandalf, the wise. Well, Gandalf of many colors.
Not so wise after that. Holy cow. My goodness. If you think that they're overstating it, I would have to say there's no hyperbole here, ladies and gentlemen. It was rough. The first episode was particularly rough. I will say good and bad things throughout this because there was some good. It just wasn't the things that you wanted to focus on if you're trying to make this show. But yeah, and wow. Yeah,
I really didn't think we'd be doing this. I just thought it was going to be boring and bland, and this was going to blow up in our faces because people would be uninterested. And now they're going to love this. They're going to love watching us have to watch this thing because it's so terrible. Real quick, though, guys, real quick. So we got 5 seconds of virtue signal
5 seconds of proving that one of the characters is gay, unambiguously gay, but also 5 seconds that's utterly meaningless and useless to the rest of the plot so they can cut it out for China. Fair?
Yeah, I'd say there's at least 2 characters that seem to be confirmed as gay in this one.
And which can both be just simply removed. Okay, 5. We had 5 seconds of pointless nudity that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know why she was naked. I still don't know why she was naked.
I mean, she was comfortable in her own skin.
Why was she naked, Culture?
She was comfortable in her own skin, bro. I mean, this is all about identitarianism, and they want to make it a journey so that everybody feels okay with the way they are. And what better way to be the way you are than naked?
She went back inside and put clothes on, Culture. I don't understand.
Well, look, first of all, I just want to say she's keeping it tight, dude. I mean, she is.
Culture, that wasn't her. That's a model. There's no way that was her buttocks upon the screen.
I don't know. I mean,
you don't think so? I think it was. I don't think so.
I didn't really watch that part that closely. But I will say they didn't play it for laughs, and they didn't play it for titillation.
I don't know what they played it for. I still don't know what they played it for.
Because they're Marvel and they just want to do whatever they want to do. Because the show is not entertaining, at least for the first episode.
You know when Smilo Ren was naked for no reason and we couldn't figure out exactly what was going on?
And there was a coven of lesbian witches.
Guys, I swear, I just watched another episode of The Acolyte.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. Well, at least episode 2.
How did this happen?
I don't know, but could you just not feel the sexual tension between Aubrey Plaza's character and...
the fact that there's romantic lighting in every scene she's in, that'll do it.
Oh, well, you know what? At least they avoided that in Inside Out, too.
All right, well, we've got more panelists joining us, folks. Jonas, bring up the super chats, and we'll go through those first. Again, this is... What in the world? How did Culture get out of here? Get him...
I think I grazed the button. Oops.
Grazed the button. Jonas, I'll say as we get to the super chats. Again, folks, we are joking a wee bit, not about how bad this is. It's way worse than I ever thought. I surely did not think it was possible for it to be this bad. But we are exceedingly happy to hit 100K. Thankful for each and every one of you joining us tonight as we get ready to dive into how bad this was. Thank you for 100K, and thank you for on the same day, within 15 minutes of that happening, we had our first video top 1 million views. So amazing. And I think we are joined by one of the witches of the coven. Is that right, Jonas?
Well, nothing says loving like something from the coven. Let's bring on Ron Bradley, or perhaps it's Emperor Palpatine.
Ron, welcome.
Hi.
Oh my God!
Hi, everybody.
Oh, no. We've got to lower your mic setting,
and everyone's eardrums were just explodified. Eardrumicus explodicus is the spell there.
I'm excited to go down this road. I'm so excited.
Oh boy!
Oh no!
Can I drive?
It's a worse road than the Beatles did.
Can I drive?
There's no cars on the Witch's Road. Apparently, it's a very literal symbol of the journey that they will be on together.
Was the scissors a little over the top? The scissoring about
there were scissors. He dropped scissors. She dropped scissors.
Yeah, I mean, did you all just look at yourselves and go, did they really just do that?
No.
Culture. I said that for a solid 55 minutes. So yes. All right, Jonas, bring up the super chats. Let's get to them. It's going to be the happiest part of this show today.
Scott Larson for 20 American dollars. Congrats on 100. Well deserved. The masses are speaking. They're speaking. Thank you for being our voice.
I'm speaking. I was trying to speak.
Does that sound familiar? Sounds familiar
to me. By the way, Scott Larson, we're going to be celebrating 100K Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And folks, we're going to be making big announcements about the channel. Jonas already knows about them. Culture has an inkling of them, but big changes are coming, and we're excited to bring those to you as we take this channel to the next level. So thank you, Scott.
I don't know what you're talking about. Too tired for $5. I'm just kidding, guys. It's going to be big. Too tired for $5 for the liquor fund. I think you'll need some drinks for future episodes, so stock up. I love the after parties, by the way, so thank you. Well, you're welcome, and thank you, Too Tired. Speaking of the most appropriate name here for a late night
for some
live
of us.
stream going over Agatha all along. My goodness. Zephyr, member for 17. I am a wine aunt and I want hot tudes.
Zephyr, if you are a wine aunt and you want hot dudes, darn it, half of that equation will make you a Agatha fan. Half of it. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I have no idea, having watched this, who the heck they made this for. Of the people who watch Marvel, of that group, apparently they're aiming for ultra liberal older women who happen to also live in Martha's Vineyard and Berkeley. That's all I can come up with. I mean, this is the tiniest demographic of people who would ever be interested in this.
Yeah.
How did this get greenlit?
I don't know. First and foremost, I mean, they're using and they're wasting some very good characters for this. And I was like, oh no, is that really? Oh yeah, it is. And I was like, oh no, is that? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. So I did that twice and was like, yeah, they're wasting good characters on this dribble. Can you imagine if they actually leaned into the original villain that was teased in WandaVision? I mean, you'd have some real muster to what's happening right now.
You know, I would wait to see whether or not somebody turns out to be a gender bent version of that one.
Oh,
Ron, who is this for? Just out of curiosity, did you decipher who this is for?
No, I think
who's the audience.
YouTubers, the vast 1% of I have no idea.
Vast 1%? You think it's that much?
Yeah, I have no idea. Who is this for? This is for I'm assuming a tiny little bubble of people that live in Hollywood.
I think this is for the vast and incredible, the numerous Vinos of Vermont. That demographic is going to eat this up.
I don't think as many Vermonters,
yes.
Yes, those people. I don't think there's as many of them as you think there are. Would be.
I also think that they also had to have watched WandaVision and be experts in it to even understand the thing.
I don't know that it helps. If you know WandaVision, you know that WandaVision was actually fun at the start.
Yes,
and this was not fun at the start. 30% of what we just watched could have been 2 minutes easily.
Oh goodness, yes. The first episode was like, okay, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so weird because there are 4 neighborhoods in America that this was for.
That is a fair point, and all of them are in Los Angeles.
By the way,
Samuel
I'm getting reports that another panelist is just finishing the show and will be joining us shortly, folks. So hang tight. Another sufferer is on the way
to join the Witch's Road. Samuel Maine gifted a super sticker.
Hey,
it's that little pear guy with a thumbs up. Thank you very much, Samuel Maine. Captain Crowbar, welcome to the profound level, Captain Proton. Crowbar Profound.
Okay, speaking of Crowbar and many others, guys, hit the thumbs up on those super chats and leave them replies. Tell them how great those chats are because they deserve
Indeed.
John Maynor. I just have to say, thank you very much for the very generous $50 super chat. Congratulations on reaching 100K subscribers. Since I can't use the membership gifting feature, I'll be supporting you through super chat instead. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Have you guys noticed there's some people that can't give memberships right now?
Yeah,
that's really weird.
I'll tell you what I'll do then. Since YouTube is having technical difficulties for the second day in a row regarding that, John Maynor, we will take your fitty and we will transfer it into some WDW Pro memberships gifted from yours truly right here in the name of John Maynor. Thank you, John. So kind of you. John, hope you'll join us for the 100K celebration proper coming up Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Lundes. See. Cyrano 2960 gifted 5 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you very much, Cyrano.
Thank you.
And Zephyr with a $5 Canadian super chat. I bet $5 I can't finish this bottle of wine. Yeah, I'm drunk and super chatting. Take my money.
Is that how you got through Agatha? Is that how you did it?
Oh man.
I'm surprised there weren't more references to wine in the show, honestly.
You don't know yet. You don't know.
In the 2 episodes that I watched, by the way, I'm hearing by the end of this, it's a gay explosion. That is the quote from Variety.
Yes. Episode 9 is going to explode all over Disney Plus.
I just think that's an unfortunate choice of words considering today's political climate. Dull Life Dan for $2. Thanks for watching the trash so we don't have to.
Oh my gosh.
Dull Life Dan, the only thing better than this is watching Paul Tassie's mind explode daily as he deals with this absolute dumpster fire and his poorly chosen hill to die upon.
Yeah, how is he going to play defense on this one, bro? I'm like, okay, dude.
I'm going to send Scott Mendelson to his house to go console him at this point. I mean, he needs someone who really can have empathy and sympathy and knows what he's going through right now.
Oh, man.
Ken Reihart for $2. Now we know where all the gay from IO ended up. Inside Out ended up.
Yeah, apparently when they cleared it out of Inside Out, they forgot to go over to Marvel and say, hey, yeah, how about not doing that? That's going to wipe you out. That's going to kill our ratings. So, by the way, we know it's going to kill the ratings. We'll get to a story, actually, folks. We've got a news story about this. We know it's going to wipe them out. Let's bring on another panelist, though, folks. Another mutual sufferer. He is, sufferer in chief, perhaps, because he's still recoiling from what he's just seen. Welcome aboard, Marvin. How are you? Are you surviving?
Marvin!
I just had to ease on down the road.
No kidding. Okay.
This gave me nothing but a song that's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of my life.
All right.
Made by more lesbian witches.
That's
I have never in my life wanted Patti LuPone to stop singing.
Oh.
And that happened tonight. I was like, I had that moment from Will Girls like, shut up, Patti LuPone.
Hey, Marvin, we've been talking about, when we set this up, I was told that we were going to hate this show. But it never dawned on me that it would be Acolyte levels of bad. Do you think it's as bad as the Acolyte right now, or is this?
It is
somewhere above that.
You ever have a dream where like you're back in like high school, like when there's like a test, or like some really hard, or you're back in like a really bad relationship, or back at like a job that you hated? Like that was what I was experiencing during this. I'm like, I can't believe I'm back here. What happened? What did I do in a horrible? Maybe I'm dead and this is hell. But like, yes, no, this was just we were back to the galaxy doesn't look kindly on women like us, and the power of many. Like this was
you did it.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
No! I think out of respect for James Earl Jones, we probably need to retire that clip.
No, we can't.
No, he signed his voice rights over Jonas. He knew what he was doing.
Dick Powell for $2. Pro, read. Oh, Pro, go ahead. You read it.
Commence Operation Vacuum Jonas. Am I allowed to play the clip? Am I allowed?
No. Brown sauce for $4.99.
Now, commence Operation Vacuum Suck.
We won't suck. We'll leave that out.
No,
there's been enough.
Leave
sucking.
that to Agatha. Brown sauce for $4.99. Thanks for saving me money. And this, by the way, is Brown Sauce's first super chat.
Hey, Brown Sauce. Brown Sauce in celebration of what you sent in, and in celebration of what this is surely doing to Disney, and we'll prove it with an article in just a moment.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down, and then Bob Iger is all like, no, what's going on with that stock? No,
Thank you, Brown Sauce. I love that clip.
Instead of Kathleen Kennedy, now it's Feige. Poor Feige.
Oh man.
Was Victoria Alonso involved in this one too, or is this?
It doesn't matter. They could listen. We'll get into that in a minute, but I'm telling you right now, a month ago they should have started going to the editing room and saying, "Cut this out, cut this out, cut this out, cut this out." We just had a big win with Deadpool and Wolverine. Take this out and this out and this out and this out. We're moving on.
I think
we wouldn't have had a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there was a solid 5 minutes where I was like, innuendo, innuendo,
just constant
glance,
constant.
Yeah, and I was like going.
In my video this morning, I think I said something along the lines of like, everyone thought things were all hunky-dory after Deadpool and Wolverine. Marvel fans felt hope again. And then I played the clip of who's been messing up everything. It's been Agatha all along. Because we're back.
Disney all along.
Oh, my God. Somebody commented on my video, said Agatha all along. And
Agatha.
that's my new favorite thing. That's good. I wish I could take
calling
credit for it.
Steven tonight. We're making a thumbnail with Agatha.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say, Marvin, you have a wonderful singing voice.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
I was a theater kid. What can I say?
Yeah, okay. You were just overblown everywhere you were.
No
All right.
Patty LaPone.
Gory-eyed beast for 2 Canadian pro. Congrats on 100K. How was Hagatha? Well, it was we're still recovering. I'm sorry.
I have not opened a bottle of wine yet. But
I'm assuming we'll get more into the nitty gritty when the super chats are done. So I'm going to hold
we'll get to the gritty of the nitty.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to point out that I beat you both to it by a week on that right there. Iger all along right there.
Oh, darn.
But you didn't say Agatha.
Yeah, you didn't do that, Jonas.
You missed the pun.
I didn't do that part. Yeah, that's
we need
Cyrano 2960 for $5. If Mephisto pops in, it's going to be Mephisto. Yeah.
First thing I said.
Somebody read my mind.
The first thing I said when this started, because it's WandaVision, again, basically. So I was like, can we all just start talking about Mephisto now?
Okay.
Please. I don't want any characters brought into this that are in any way cool now. Like, just leave them alone because they're going to be.
No, I don't care about.
It's Mephisto now. Mephisto.
Oh.
Yeah. Unless they're going to bring in Ghost Rider, but I don't think they're going to do Ghost Rider correctly.
Oh man, dude, Nicolas Cage is the only Ghost Rider for me.
I agree.
And I keep hearing that he's in Secret Wars, but that's from a source that is kind of hit or miss. Timothy Kennedy for $10. I'm completely convinced.
I said, take that source. That poor source is listening right now. He's like, oh, I'm a hit or miss source now.
No, it's
why,
not.
Jonas? Why?
It's not one of our sources. I'm going to say that. Timothy Kennedy for $10.
Those.
I'm completely convinced that Disney is hoping to jump into YouTube and is utilizing their awful content to make YouTubers money as proof of concept. It's a fair theory. If they had their own YouTube, they would make money regardless. That's galaxy brain thinking on the part of Bob.
I'm gonna make a prediction, and I feel very confident in this. YouTube content creators are going to have better ratings covering Agatha than Agatha will have in the Nielsen ratings. I'm very confident now. And whereas John Trent and I talked about this earlier today, video doing quite well. So there, you all have seen it. You know that we said this. John was suggesting that this might make it onto the Nielsen charts, that it might have acolyte numbers. Guys, I'm telling you, I thought it might make it on the Nielsen charts near Halloween because it's going to get that Hocus Pocus 2 kind of thing going where people are in the mood for Halloween. So like, oh, which show? Let's watch that. I don't think this. I think this is hard to watch. I don't think this is going to.
This isn't a Halloween show. It's got witches in it, but it's not spooky.
I'm telling you,
I think 300 million minutes is its ceiling.
There's going to be a huge drop off from episode 1 to episode 2 because that first episode is so difficult to get through.
But we won't get to see that, so we won't know that unless Illumination. I don't think Illumination breaks it down that way either. We just get the week. But episode 3,
Illuminate.
Illuminate. Yeah, this is going to be. I mean, this show's hard to watch. It's not easy to sit through.
Yeah, and we'll get to it.
There is
WDW Pro. Thank you for the 5 memberships. I think this was you passing that along.
Did you cut off the beard? Did you cut off the beard?
It's fine.
Keep going.
It wasn't important. It's okay.
Doesn't matter anymore.
I'm now concerned about the length of Culture's beard. Zephyr gifted 1 WDW Pro membership.
Me too, actually.
Thank you, Zephyr. That's very kind.
You're over here. You're reading super chats because I'm assuming I'm not reading them fast enough. I try to read them faster, and here we are. Play the high note for 5 Australian. They made this for people who live in New York City, San Francisco, London, Melbourne, Australia, all the woke big cities. These people love this stuff, and they're woke as I'm going to say as
you wait and see on the ratings. I bet. Listen, I think it's going to be tough for them to watch it. I mean, this is
they're not watching it. They're not. They didn't watch The Acolyte. They're not going to watch this.
No,
yeah,
and
this thing's over.
Nobody else is either. It's just us. We're out here. I feel like I'm like the guy that's like holding up the sign to tell you to stop or slow, at the construction zone. And there is nobody on this highway. So I'm literally just standing there.
There are no witches on the Witches Road.
There's nobody on this road.
Jonas, let's hold super chats. We'll come to Go and Shogi in just a moment. I want to go to the news though, because folks, we already know that this is an abomination to Disney. They already know it. We already know it. Everybody already knows it. Go ahead and read it there, Jonas.
As is Dead Chicken for $50. Bro, how does it feel to be part of the gayest review ever? The power of one, the power of two, the power of gay. I'm enjoying your pain, bro. Marvin's pain is running a close
second.
It's as my thumbnail this morning said, it's Agatha.
What was it? Was it The Birdcage? Is that the super gay movie that has Robin Williams in it back in the 90s?
Madonna.
But that was funny.
Fantastic movie.
Listen, we could watch that and it's no problem.
Yeah,
this is just trite. This is terrible. I mean, this is ridiculous overacting. This is, and the women trying to play the parts of the tough cop. There's that one part where she yells at the guy, and I was just like,
"Well,
who watched this and filmed it and thought we're going to use that?"
Okay, but I want to say something. Catherine Hahn's a great actress.
Not here.
She changed. No, it's fine. She changed her physical, like everything, to play the detective part. Like her way she stands, her posture. She changed her presentation. She changed her voice. She worked really hard to change the shape of her jaw so that she said it very masculinely. She worked very, very hard to have a different accent and presentation of her voice. And she was willing to let them make her as ugly as they possibly could. That is an actress right there.
Yeah. I will
also
say
a victim.
Catherine Hahn did not do did not do a bad job in this. It was not.
It was the
her
writing.
fault.
It was everything else.
Okay, everything but Catherine. All right. Well, yeah.
I would amend that. I think she did a good job in the first episode when she was playing the detective.
Yes,
and then once she becomes Agatha again, the writing for her was just so terrible that she could not make it work.
You just don't like naked ladies, Marvin.
That wasn't her. I'm telling you, there was a convenient cutaway.
The tale of my life,
Yeah.
my hate of naked ladies.
That was not the tale of your life. I'll tell you that. All right.
Being very sarcastic.
You got to see the tale of her life. Is all I'm saying.
All right. Well, from Bohinies to the back end of a bad day for Disney. Here we go. This out of CNET, and that's a segue. Courtney Jackson is the author here. New Disney Plus deal drops basic plan price. Folks, you ready for it? You see it, but we'll say it anyway. $2. The promotion comes ahead of the price hike in October. Here's the way this works, and then we'll read the article.
$1.99.
Yeah, it's $1.99, not butt 99. But here's the deal, folks. When the streaming services put out new content, the new content is supposed to drive new subscribers. I know this is very difficult. This is a 401 level class.
Oof, watch out.
Agatha and the Acolyte did not drive new subscribers.
Oh, no.
I know that's a shock. I'll let it settle in. They did not create new subscribers. So now Disney has to find a way to get new subscribers. So if your content isn't getting new subscribers and you just got hosed by DirecTV, what do you do to get those new subs? Well, you make it basically free. With Agatha all along and Bluey minisodes on the way, Disney Plus is offering a new discount on its ad-based plan that makes it just $2 a month for 3 months. In other words, $2 for the remainder of the year.
It's ridiculous.
The streaming service's regular rate for the Disney Plus basic subscription is $8 per month, so the deal saves customers $18. If you're a new or returning subscriber, it's an opportunity to lock in some savings before Disney's streaming price hikes go into effect on October 17th. And by the way, they can continue to run this if that's a problem. After the 3-month promotional period expires, your monthly plan will increase to $10 per month unless you cancel. So all the way up and through the end of the year. Then if you don't want it, you can just drop it. There's no penalty. There's no nothing. For 3 months, Disney Plus is $2. There is no better way of saying we are stuck and suck than that. And
it's
still too much. You can almost get a McDouble for that.
It's still too much.
Mine for 50
bro.
cents. But
there you go. It's still too much, bro, because if you're sending me ads, I need it free. The correct price point is free.
Well, that's Tubi you're talking about.
Well, true, but Disney
we're discussing the Disney dollar menu.
Okay, well, let's get to the Disney dollar menu. Did you know what they just did to Hulu?
What they do to Hulu?
Yeah. They're offering a $2 a month for Hulu as well.
Huh. Man, that bear really isn't doing enough to.
It's not just streaming. It's not just streaming, guys. I have friends from the UK who are in Walt Disney World right now for their honeymoon. They got an $1,800 credit for meals, and they got 14 days of park passes for 7 days of price. So
they got the meal plan for free, which Disney usually only offers when they're in huge trouble.
Big trouble.
Yeah.
Well, this might be the reason that they're in real trouble. This is out of Variety. It's by Mark Malkin. It says Agatha all along stars Catherine Hahn, Aubrey Plaza, and Joe Locke on how queer it is. It will be un gay explosion by the end of it. That's what they say. Folks, if you watched the video from earlier today, you'll be familiar with that. But here it is, driving it home yet again out of Variety, just continuing on that train. And we've got something new here. This is also out of Variety. Sarah Halley Finn talks about casting Joe Locke and wanting someone queer to play the role he got. We did want to cast that role authentically. Joe did an incredible audition. Let's listen in to what she had to say, and then we'll get back to Disney Plus and their new content, which now is just $2 if you would like to have Disney Plus. It's almost free, but apparently that might be actually illegal. I don't know. Might miff the subscribers who are already paying a big amount. So they're not going to give it to you for free like Tubi, which is now beating them. They'll give it to you for $2. Here's the interview.
It looks like Tootsie.
Hey, you leave Tootsie alone.
Talk about Joe Locke.
Hey, do you see the guy in the background there that's rocking the severe V cut in his
culture?
vest?
We never mock a man in a 1980s karate outfit and a cowboy hat. We never make fun of that man.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because he's not. That is the silhouette of a unpredictable person.
He looks like the villain in a Star Trek episode where they go to some utopic planet.
Back in the 60s. Yes, I agree with you. Holy cow.
Wow.
Everybody else will be wearing silver.
Let's just all soak it in for a moment. I mean,
yeah, he's the core audience for Agatha. That's what he is.
It's the sash belt that really wins it. I mean, he's a black belt in fashion.
Wait,
from what I understand. So tell me about the search for that. Obviously, there's more openly queer actors now than ever, but still not a ton.
Yeah. Well, we did want to cast that role authentically. And let's also be honest, this is a character who is a teenager. So this is
I'm starting to think that there's something wrong with white women today.
not a question that we're going to ask teenagers to come out and have to answer. It was just more about, here's the character. We're looking to cast it authentically. Please submit an audition, and we're going to take it from there.
She'll be starring in the sequel to Am I a Racist? Am I a Racist 2?
You didn't have to ask this boy if he was, by the way.
No. No. Marvin.
How would you all have liked to been in the casting for this? Yes, when a kid comes in, not an adult, a kid comes in, they're like, so tell us,
Marvin.
Yes, culture.
He was floaty, right?
Yeah, we brought him in for the audition, and the fire alarms all went off. So we were like, we found our guy.
I'm amazed that they can get away. I mean, in most states, this would put you in jail to look for a child who fits your, bedroom orientation authenticity.
Wow. Yeah.
No,
wow.
But my favorite thing about this quote. My favorite thing about this quote is what comes next, because she realizes what she's saying, and she tries
she realizes she's now a criminal. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see what she says.
She's not a smooth criminal.
No.
Joe did an incredible audition.
Tell me about his audition.
And I think what's so wonderful about Joe, and I can't give away anything about the character, but he is so warm. He is so thoughtful as an actor and kind and sensitive and funny. But the character might have a dark side. Am I allowed to say that?
I think you can, because I've seen the first.
It's really deep. That's really deep. Dark side. Ooh, you really gave something away. Ooh.
This episode, it was dark.
Okay.
He's
So
a
there are
witch with
some
a dark
other
side?
layers
What?
that we're
Whoa,
going to
whoa,
get
whoa,
to
whoa,
peel
whoa,
away. And
The episode was literally dark, as in difficult to make out what was going on screen.
Well, that was successful with the Little Mermaid, so they had to bring it back.
The show.
Is she making some sort of, when she says dark, is she making some sort of ethnic slur that she needs to be canceled for? I'm detecting some sort of nascent hatred that exists inside this woman.
She was talking about his eyeliner, I think. It was all about
Okay. Yeah.
Or fingernails.
Okay. I have to ask a question. Do you have to order those eyebrows, or are they those natural?
That attack eyebrows.
Sir.
They're her eyebrows. She paid for them.
No, I was talking about. I
know what you're up to. You're going to start donating that beard to a company that'll pay you
That's
to
right.
make
Look,
eyebrows.
if I can make money off my beard for eyebrows, I'm going to go for it.
Oh man,
Inspiration. I'm also going to point out that Sarah Halley Finn was also the person who cast Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. So
She is on a roll. Let me tell you, that woman. Woman is on a roll.
But so she starts saying we wanted to cast it authentically, and then she realizes that meant, oh no, I just said that we hired someone based on their sexual orientation, and
it's a kid, by the way, too,
and it's a child, so she had to walk it back immediately, and that's why it was one of my favorite.
So Marvin, what you're telling me is that evil came out of her, and she then realized the evil in her heart had been exposed to the world, and she quickly tried to make amends. That fair?
Pretty much, yeah.
Could I have a hug? Give me a hug. No way. Come here. I'm not coming over there. Let's go. Forget it. Pronto. What are you doing?
Evil. All right. So
could they have just
folks
gone to Disneyland? Like, I'm sure they could have. They recruited it. They could recruit at Disneyland, right? There's some cast members that would have been anxious to go out for that role. I'm sure.
Sure. All right, guys, let's talk about the episode, and then we will go back to the super chats. We know many of you out there have super chats still waiting. We apologize, but we do need to give the review, and then we'll get back to it. By the way, folks, we also have some Star Wars news to talk about, surprisingly, before we wrap up tonight. So hang tight. We'll get to that. Jonas, would you be willing to give us the recap of what happened? This was the job of one John Trent, but he has escaped, and we are tracking down Lauren. Don't worry, folks. But Jonas, help us with the kaleidoscope of confusion that was the first two episodes of Agatha. Explain to us, recap what happened.
Well, forgive me. I'm going to make this as brief as it should have been. The episode starts. They're doing a send up of Mare of Eastwick, I believe, which I have not actually watched. Mare of Eastwick. They're doing a cop show, and she shows up on the scene of some crime, and they're doing all the cop tropes. It's not played for laughs. It's played as if it is very serious. And she shows up with, she's got her coffee cup, and she's, it's blood force trauma. What did they die of? And all this and this goes on for 30 minutes. I am not kidding you. It goes on for a full half hour. This very boring procedural thing. They find someone who is dead. It's actually like her or something dumb like that. And it's her being
never really shown.
Yeah, it's supposed to be her, or maybe it's supposed to be Wanda. And throughout all of this, she interacts with the people of Westview that we know from WandaVision. This moment right here is somewhere in there right before she realizes this is, again, almost a full half hour into a 40-minute episode.
And
this
also,
is when something finally happens.
And also, if you've never seen WandaVision, there is not one part of this episode that will make any sense. You will probably rightfully think that you're watching some sort of acid trip.
Right. Some of the things that we probably need to establish here. She interacts with everyone. The random people from around the town help her to figure out what is going on in this quote unquote murder. They take some of her stuff and describe it to her. None of it matters in any way because everyone is waiting for Agatha, who is going by the name Agnes, which I do believe that her name
was her name in WandaVision.
Yeah. They're waiting for her to realize that she's Agatha for the first half hour. You never want a situation in which the audience knows more than the main character, and it's just waiting for everyone to catch up, waiting for that character to catch up. The dumb guy that worked with Vision is now the dumb chief of police. Aubrey Plaza's character shows up and is like, "Do you really not realize what this is? What this is yet?" But she doesn't tell her. Again, it's as engaging as you would think it is from me describing it. And eventually, she starts to turn into Agatha from Agatha, the song.
There's also a Blues Brothers kind of thing going on here about getting the band together.
Well, that's not until episode 2.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so that's the whole 30 minutes of her, and then she strips down out of her. Well, she transforms into several forms of what she was in WandaVision. Hey, Aldi, you remember how fun WandaVision was? It was actually fun. By the way, when they called back to shows, they were shows that everyone has heard of.
But did any of this make sense, though, Jonas? Like, is there any kind of logic behind it, or is it just...
The entire point is that it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to be confusing. Which
so
is
it was 40
not
minutes
what you want
of
your audience to be, is confused.
Right. 40 minutes of illogical nonsense that only has references to a show that not many people watched. And even if you watched it, it still doesn't make sense. It's just like some sort of unsolvable mystery of a kaleidoscope. Again, a kaleidoscope of confusion, right?
Right. They point out that on her, the only detail that I remember from the first part that I know plays into it is they go for her brooch, which is the maiden, the mother, and the hag, which is a witch's thing. And eventually they reference that in the second episode. But they could have put that information in the second episode. So, she goes naked into the street, and then they
no reason
get on with the second episode.
And here's a weird, confusing point. Okay, from episode 1 to episode 2, there is Aubrey Plaza's character egging her on to rediscover herself. That's nonsensical if she doesn't like her.
Correct. Yes, there's no reason for her to help her at all. Zero. None.
The thing that I found so tiresome about this episode is there was no mystery. We knew from the very second this started. If you saw the WandaVision, you knew what's going on. You know what the reveal is. You know who the dead body is. They spoiled that in the trailer. You know everything there is to know in this episode. There's no mystery, which is also why I get so annoyed with Teen, because we all know who Teen is. Everyone who's ever read a comic book knows who Teen is.
Who is Teen?
He's Wiccan. He's Billy.
Yeah,
he's
Billy.
Billy Maximoff.
It's Billy. Yeah.
Really?
One of the Young Avengers. He's Wanda's son. That's 100% who he is.
That's so obvious that I feel like if it is, then why are they wasting our time with? They bleep out his name, and I think that's in the second episode.
Man, and then the audio muffle that they put over the top of him in episode 2, and she turns on the radio, and it's like, why is she not telling him that he's automatically muffled or muted or whatever else? See, there's a lot of nonsense in this.
Right. So she comes to her senses, and there's like 10 minutes of the episide left, and that might as well be episode 2.
And here's the thing about Wiccan is he is a gay character in the comics, which nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But they took he was just a regular character who happened to be gay.
I feel like we just had our very first. Not that there's anything wrong with that moment here.
Yes, pretty much. That was my Seinfeld moment of the night.
Seinfeld moment.
Not that there's anything wrong with that,
But they took a great gay character from the comics and they turned him into Mario Cantone. They turned him into Just Jack. They made him into like a stereotype. He's just like the quintessential like gay teen. It was insane to me.
He's gay goth.
Well, I mean, he was talking about his boyfriend, and by the way, that was great. And the moment that it happened for Jonas, I was like, why am I so far behind Jonas?
As we shared our notes. Okay, so we get Miss Hahn. Well, she's made to look like she's naked, and then they have a cutaway and a model shows her butt.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we get. Go ahead, Jonas.
I'll throw in one thing here. This is under the Marvel Television brand, which is a new brand because when they talked about this show, originally it was going to be Marvel Studios. And then they came up for Echo with the Marvel Spotlight. And they said this was going to be Marvel Spotlight. So that's deviation number 2 on a show that already had 4 titles or 5, or I forgot how many. And now it's Marvel Television. So internally, Marvel is all over the place on where this falls as far as importance and what they're doing with it.
This is a really strange show too, because as opposed to The Acolyte, which was canceled immediately after it ended, this has been canceled immediately before it began. So Catherine Hahn has already said there will be no second season of this, which
I bet not.
That sounds great.
Pretends that they know the ratings will be terrible, because if the ratings were terrific, then why would you ever not say, "Oh, let's do another Halloween second season and get some Halloween ratings"? But they've already said no.
The show exists for one reason and one reason alone. It exists to introduce Wiccan. And because he's going to be in the Young Avengers, and that's a thing that they keep pretending they're going to do.
They're not going to do the Young Avengers anymore. That's got to be over. It's just got to be. There's no like.
If you don't want to see a Miss Marvel-led team with Kate Bishop and Wiccan and Cassie Lang, all those popular characters,
I can't. Yes,
nobody
please.
liked
I
Cassie.
am begging you, and have them be mentored by She-Hulk at this point. I am begging.
Cassie Lang was awful.
Begging you, do it, Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah, so if we can skip ahead a little bit here, have we dead and buried the first episode of this so far with 40 minutes of nothing? The second episode, they decide that they're going to go try to find witches so they can go on the witches' road. She comes to her senses and realizes that the kid is in her house. By the way, she imagined that he robbed her house, and so she quote unquote arrested him or something in the first episode.
That was so bad too.
She turns out that he was sitting in her closet and he's real. So they decide that he knows who she is and she's famous, and she's doing this whole Jack Sparrow thing of being weird and not quite realizing what's real and what's not, as he convinces her that they need to go on the witch's road in order to get their power.
Audience, are you confused yet? Because when they walked in and gave this pitch, I would have been the exec who said, "I have no idea what you just explained, so get out of here."
Okay, can I introduce an idea that we haven't talked about yet?
Sure.
They go on a road trip, right? And it's which, you know, that might be fun, except it wasn't.
Well, this is a road trip before the road trip. This episode too.
Yeah.
You didn't enjoy their zany antics together? How great the two actors bounced off each other, their culture with their winning dialogue?
I thought the inside the vehicle scene was almost as good as Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman fighting inside their van.
That's right. When he gets a phone call right there at the beginning from Boyf.
But she stole his pearls.
That'll make any man mad, especially
I'm just saying.
a goth gay mad.
Pearl clutcher.
Not good.
You got to work on your goth game there.
Dave Bautista wears pearls now, apparently. So, you know, apparently now it's a manly thing.
I believe. No, it isn't.
All right, Jonas, what else happens in episode 2? What else you got?
Well, they go in search of more witches, and the first witch they come to is Patti LuPone, and she's fine. There's nothing really wrong with what goes on here. She's a medium, and for some reason she decides to put on an accent. Catherine Hahn, as Agatha here, puts on a podunk accent to try to do a little bit here.
And not well.
Seeing
like a
Patti
Texan
LuPone
accent.
Seeing Patti LuPone in this, I just want to let Argentina, you're allowed to cry for her now.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And she casts a spell to give her a list of witches to go into her coven to say go away, and she happens to be on that list of witches.
Okay, so this bit here,
I don't think we can play it, by the way.
No.
But this bit here is where they're singing. Like, who's gonna go high? And Deborah Jo Rupp does the worst delivery of a joke she's ever done in her life.
But can I also tell you, Culture, that she's the only thing that was pleasant in the whole episode, because I felt like I was her. I felt like every time she was like, "I don't know what's happening," I was thinking, yeah, finally somebody gets me.
I want to hear what
I can relate to this character.
No, it's just it's really the only time she, like, it's in her entire career, and I've watched almost everything she's done, I imagine. She that joke was, you know,
I just wish you'd stop sending
worthless.
her fan mail with personal items. It's bizarre.
I'm careful.
The joke of her is going to be dead by the time we're halfway through the next episode.
Which
like her
sucks,
being along with the ride.
Okay,
with this.
so but when they were all singing here, Marvin, raise your hand if you were a show kid. I think everybody on the panel was.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
yeah. So, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm going, they all sang.
No, they didn't. They sang, and then a computer re-sang it for them.
Yes, that's so true.
And I'm going to point out all of these are capable singers. Patty LuPone and Catherine Hahn, perfectly capable singers.
Incredible.
There's no reason that
singers.
they need to be auto-tuned, but they auto-tuned everything on this. I'm going to flat out say it. Like this was.
I thought I was watching Glee.
I remember when Glee didn't auto-tune. I'll say that. That was like episode 3, and then they gave up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the when the auto tune went to work on Patty LuPone, it should have just refused and shut down because it's just a crime against humanity.
That actually is true.
So this is a single song, and it goes on for too long, and it's about them going on the witch's road. There's probably some symbolic language in there. There's probably a video of them singing it at D23 that you guys can watch, not on this stream, because they would definitely claim
I'm sure it was featured in a comic, a Marvel comic from 2017.
The soundtrack, I will point out, is good. Christoph Beck did the soundtrack. He did a good job on that.
The sheer length of this song. They finished the first, so I'm like, wow, that was kind of dumb. And then they started the second verse, and I was like, oh no, really? And then they keep going and going and going, and then I was like, oh man, thank God that's over. And then they started a third whole verse,
and then a key change.
I was like, no.
And the sad thing is, I was hoping for what happened in The Acolyte, and they'd all fall down dead at the end of it. And guess what? Nothing. They're still alive. Every one of them.
Did you notice when Agatha wakes up, she tries to like summon her power, and it literally looks like she does the thread thing from The Acolyte?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all Disney's about now is threads. Speaking of which, I will say this: the budget was rumored to be between $100 and $200 million. I think 100 is too low. Hang on, because that was what Patty LuPone said, that this looked like $100 million movie.
Well, I don't think she's great at.
I don't think so either. Budgets. Yeah. But Paul, you know what? Paul Tassi came to his senses briefly back in June.
I'm just leaving it. While you talk about Paul Tassi losing his mind, I'm just leaving it on this screen capture because this is how every one of us felt watching this show tonight.
Sure. But he did come to his senses briefly on June 29th to say Agatha all along is essentially guaranteed to be the MCU's least watched show.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah,
I think it's going to struggle. I think this is Willow.
Echo might be worse. Maybe.
No, this is
worse.
This is Willow.
Okay, so wait. So this effect here. Wah!
Wait a minute. I'm going to find this guy with there. That's me watching this tonight. That look. That's me.
Remove the main characters from WandaVision and only have Catherine Hahn. That's essentially what they've got. Yeah, so they sing and it opens up a thing. By the way, they try to kick the boy out and send him upstairs while they try to open up the witch's road. And there's another character we haven't talked about, and they don't identify everybody by name, which is kind of annoying because that character is called Teen.
Yes, his official name is Teen right now. Teen.
Yeah, except if you change the language and he's Billy on every other single time that he talks.
Really? I didn't realize that. They left that in the subtitles.
Yep, change the language. He goes from Teen to Billy.
You subtitulos out there, you failed in your making of this one. Darn you, you're giving it all away.
There are two other characters. One is...
How come he's not listed as obviously gay teen, though?
Well, ambiguously gay.
Curious.
There's nothing ambiguous about this.
There's a character named Jennifer Kale who is she's the high priestess, and she's like selling scented candles or something gross, and they make a bunch of female genitalia related jokes.
Right, wine moms were eating the candles because they're edible candles.
Dude, dropping the scissors wasn't even obvious at all.
Right.
Anyway, so but if you move a little bit forward, you get to see the other witches that didn't like Agatha. They played zero part and had zero effect in anything we've seen. And what were that? The Salem 9, is that what they call it?
Oh, Salem 7. Yes.
7, excuse me.
His alliteration.
But you get to see this one good effect. They did one good effect in the show. And it was when those witches went from 1 to 7. It was really cool. I like that.
Well, yeah, so that was the thing we're getting to next here. Alice Wu Gulliver is the name of the Asian witch that they just out of the blue say she's a a blood witch, which means she's the daughter of a witch. And
we're introducing this concept because that's what Billy is. He's a blood witch.
Billy.
That's true.
Fair enough. They also, for some reason, out of the blue, Catherine Hahn's character decides to tell everyone that I can't steal their power unless they blast me. She says this. She literally just says, "This is my greatest weakness here," out of the blue, which is, of course, what people do in good writing. They just give up their weaknesses.
Oh, yeah. Before any boxing match, the boxers declare where they would least like to be hit.
The amount of sloppy exposition in this show was shameful. I've never, I've seen The Acolyte, so I can't say this, but I was going to say I've never seen such shoddy, on the nose writing before, but it's on par with The Acolyte.
Can I tell you guys what I want to do? And then I want to get Ron's thoughts, see if Ron can come up with anything positive about
Want to watch Top Gun instead?
Yes.
No, here's what I think, okay? Because this is going to mean that we've done this new thing that we were not doing before, which is live reviews of these streaming shows when they come out, and movies too. And by the way, Beetlejuice was so good. And I had Michelle, and we had Nolan, and we gave it a 9.4, and it's doing great at the box office. It's having a tremendous hold, and it's kind of vindicating what we were saying about it. And well, we're back to this again. And I need a palate cleanser. So here's what I'm thinking. We had suggested we would go from this show to Skeleton Crew. That would be the next one we would do, the after party. I think we got to do Arcane. We got to get out of Disney. We got to go to Arcane because we got to watch something that's actually really, really good. So the audience will know the difference.
I think, I'm with Jonas though. That's actually the best comparison, Ron. Okay, first of all, I think Skeleton Crew will be fine for kids, so I'm not even going to bag on it anymore, other than it looks dumb. But for an adult. But I think Penguin's
I've learned my lesson after a couple of Lucasfilm shows. I've learned my lesson.
I think Penguin's going to be great. I really do, and I think we're going to all be wanting, a Penguin Batman movie. I think that's what we're going to want.
We had that already. It was called The Batman.
It was terrible.
Well.
So do you want me to recap the last 5 minutes of the show here?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So they sing the song to try to open the road. The boy is upstairs mostly so that he can witness the Salem 7 showing up in the street, trying to get in the house. It takes
Were we told
forever.
anything about the Salem 7 before that gave us any? This is the kind of random nonsense.
Yeah, there are a bunch of women in clothes.
Yeah, she saw a crow, a rat, and a wolf, and apparently that meant the Salem 7 also.
Right.
So,
they've got casting already on episode 1 for characters that are crow, coyote, all the different animals. Yeah, it's a coyote, not a wolf. And this is just because I'm reading the credits here. And they break into the house and still take their sweet time to do it.
Wait a minute. Did you just say that you looked at the credits and determined the CGI animals species?
Yeah, it's coyote.
Did they credit CGI animals?
No, they crediting
the Salem 7.
Bethany Michelle Curry plays Crow of the Salem 7.
Oh, each one of them has a spirit animal that. Oh, okay, I got you.
And Chow Namova plays Coyote, and then there are other people that are listed as part of the Salem 7. So they break into the house. The Witch's Road opens up. They have to open it together. Imagine that. And they get into it. They close the door. And this is the only moment where I actually had a reaction to the show. Catherine Hahn puts her hands up to see if she can open the door, and it's sealed shut like concrete. And I was like, "Oh, that actually brings up an actual fear there." And that was about the only real reaction that I had to this show. And then they have to go down on the Witch's Road. Go down to the Witch's Road.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Can we
that
though?
Was a terrible oopsie.
Yeah. Can we guess what the other animals are going to be? Because we've only seen 3 of them. So obviously, is one of them going to be like a platypus?
Orangutan.
I would love to see she shows up. She shows up and they go, a platypus?
Oh, God. It's an orangutan. It's an orangutan.
Ron, can you give us any positives from the 2 episodes? What was good? Anything? Help us.
First of all, I got to say, first of all, you guys should see this. This was I liked WandaVision. This was my last name tag when I was a cast member.
Hang on, let's full screen this. Hang on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you're a West Viewian.
That's right. That's right. So I feel like I have some expertise here. Not really. You asked me earlier who this was made for. This is really funny. I actually worked with a cast member at Disney. Not going to reveal the person's name, but the person claimed to be a witch, an actual witch, practicing witch. And this person was from Salem, Massachusetts. And this person was also gay. And that is not revealing anything about who the person is, but I'm just saying that's maybe who this was made for. That's all I'm saying, because you asked that earlier. And so
you worked with Winifred Sanderson.
you would think. But no, it was very, very, very interesting that actually did occur. And that was, I remember when it happened to me, I was very, very stunned that the person was revealing all this about themselves. So,
no, in my
anyhow,
experience,
going on from that,
to tell everyone.
I guess they do.
Identitarians are identitarians.
Well,
all right, Ron, give us something good.
So I had watched. I had a problem with it. First of all, I had stomach issues over the weekend, so I was really worried that they were going to come back. And so far,
I know you were worried about having to watch the show. All right, we got that. We all had stomach issues. We knew what was coming.
I made the mistake of watching Daredevil just prior to this, and
which one?
It was the Daredevil season 1. I was on episode 5, and I'm sorry, that was fantastic show running, fantastic writing, everything. I mean, it was so polar opposite of watching this. I didn't know what the heck I was watching when I first started this, because it left off. I mean, it started in a very weird place from where her character was when they left her off in WandaVision. I'm like, so, and then I still don't get, was the fake town in the beginning of this, her whole cop demeanor, was that in her mind? Was that what was going on with that?
It was supposed to be her still being under Wanda's spell, which they don't explain.
It was like an unexplained, foggy, fuzzy purgatory.
By the way, since you mentioned, because go ahead.
Since you mentioned Daredevil, I just have to point this out. Brie Larson is going to be playing Elektra. And now I'm going to put that back off the screen, so no one knows exactly what's wrong there.
But no, that's Sophocles' Elektra. Come on, man.
Yes, I thought the headline was hilarious.
You're not sneaking that by me. Okay. London theater. But
all right, guys.
No, actually, this reminded me of, and now it's gone.
Oh well, sorry.
That's why we bring you on the panel, Culture. Good job. All right, Jonas. It'll come to culture in a moment.
One good thing is I thought some of the comedy, once they brought in the teenager, it didn't perfectly land, but I could see some people laughing at it if they were drunk when they were watching it. So there's that.
Folks, I thought we were going to go to Super Chats now. And I thought that we were going to give a review score right after the Super Chats. And then, well, something happened.
Who could that be? Let's go see, boys and girls.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, guys. Sorry for the difficulties. We were talking about this yesterday. I didn't realize the show was premiering tonight.
Oh.
And
there's always a way out of it, isn't there, Lauren? There's always a way out of it.
Well, there's potentially a problem because my son has extracurriculars on Wednesday night. And so I'm going to have to figure out a way to make this work. So I think I haven't seen the show. I don't know what happened.
My
Lauren,
son has extracurriculars too. Lots of extracurriculars.
How about this, Lauren? You watch the episode prior at some point, because if we review episode 3 next week, there's no way it can be worse than what we just watched, and that will force you to watch something terrible. You'll be still on episodes 1 and 2. even next week, and we'll be on something that has to be better because it can't be worse.
That's quite a sales pitch.
There you go.
Wait. So, Lauren, did you actually watch it this time?
No, I mean, my intent was to, but I didn't know it was starting tonight, so I don't have my subscription up. I haven't seen it. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, is play catch up, and somehow I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to make this work with my son's extracurriculars because I have to pick him up.
The audience, Lauren, they are desperate for you to suffer along with us. You would not believe the number of people requesting, "Where is Lauren? Is Lauren playing hooky?" It's been all over the chat. So they're happy you were here.
I think we're gonna get Lauren going. Is it too late to watch The Acolyte, guys?
Well, actually, I this is one of the things that I did talk to Pro about yesterday while he was trying to pitch me on this, and I said this was another show that I really did not intend to watch, and Pro twisted my arm a little bit harder than I think he's ever done. In that
money was offered.
No, well, that's not the issue. I think basically what he said was that it's unfair that I get to not watch the bad shows while all of you have to watch them. And so I think his plan is to rotate in. I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, Pro, but I think your intention is you kind of like the format of having one very confused person on the panel and everybody else having to suffer. And I get it.
John Trent bailed on us for that one. So he's in trouble too. No, he's fine. But Lauren, we talked about the possibility of you actually having to watch The Acolyte. Are you ready to talk about that?
Yeah, so that's actually what I was going to segue into, is that I have not had a Disney Plus subscription for quite some time, ever since Ahsoka
you can see the regret already on his face as he gets ready to talk about this.
Well,
there's already regret creeping in.
Yeah, there is. You guilted me an awful lot. And so here's what I have to say. My schedule is very crazy right now, and it's making things a little bit difficult. And that's another reason why I was a little bit late getting here. I'll talk to you guys about that in the background later. But if I am re-upping the Disney Plus subscription, I did say
I didn't charity, Lauren.
I didn't quite say. I sort of intimated that there's a possibility that if I have the Disney Plus subscription,
swallow the vomit.
That I may watch The Acolyte, and if I do that,
all right, you heard it here, folks. Lauren
is watching The Acolyte for charity.
The Acolyte. Look at that.
Well, now we've not figured out exactly how we were going to leverage that.
I don't think he knew he was off screen for a moment.
We're gonna figure out, Lauren, which charity this will go to. But yes, folks, we're gonna make Lauren binge watch. That's right, binge watch. The Acolyte.
No, I didn't. Now that's not what I said. I didn't say I was going to binge watch.
Lauren, I haven't watched it either.
Okay, wait.
I gotta say,
this has to be a me and Lauren conversation. You all go away from the screen.
Sorry. Hang on.
Lauren, you clearly, my friend, you clearly drew a line in the sand. You need to stick to it. We need to give money to a charity. So let's make Pro do that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's the plan. I was not doing this for nothing.
Have you convinced him yet? Have you convinced him? Are we good yet?
Well, no. I'm getting there. Calm down.
Okay.
So we need to get set a firm number so Pro is dedicated to raising that money. Okay. Well, the chat will help, right? All of you guys will help, but we need to find a wonderful children's charity, and we need to go and give them money. Okay.
Yeah. I mean that's the whole way that my arm got twisted here.
Okay. Culture, did you tell him he has to do it while watching it with a Rose Tico doll?
No, I didn't get to that part.
Borders?
I didn't get to that part.
So
sorry.
We are going to have to figure out how this works. I mean, I don't even know. It's like, am I filming myself while I'm doing this? Are we doing an after episode interview?
I think we should film you. Okay, I have a way to do it. Okay, and it can be private, so you can suffer in privacy until we release it as a video. Is that good, Pro?
This conversation out of context is making me very uncomfortable.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I will send you a Rose Tico action figure that you can hold up and show.
And they're sold, folks. That'll do it. A Rose Tico action figure gets them every time.
Right.
So stay tuned, folks. We'll get Lauren in on a charity stream doing the Acolyte. It'll come up in time for the holidays. But guys, we're going to get super chats. Jonas, bring the super chats up, and then we're going to give our review score for the not the Acolyte. I'm sorry, it's just the same. Agatha. As soon as we get through the super chats, every single one of them matters because every single one of you matter. Jonas, let's go.
Can we call this the Acolyte?
Go Shogi for $4.99. Who experienced more pain? The tortured residents of Westview locked in their own bodies, living a heck on earth, or the viewership of Agatha?
I felt as confused as the residents of Westview.
Oh boy! There was a lot of potential in the WandaVision show, but at episode 4, something changed.
Coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
Coulda what? And Smickball for $10. Thanks for taking the hit for us and watching. Must be like the self-flagellation in the Da Vinci Code, also done by Paul Bettany. I just have to point out.
Right. Well, and also done in the most recent film by Matt Walsh called "Am I a Racist?" So there you go.
By the way, the self-flagellation's part of that. Spoiler here, folks. Close your ears if you don't want to be spoiled about that movie. That's the part where finally, even Matt Walsh is like, okay, we're stopping now. You all are insane. We're just done. worth seeing how far the crazies will go.
Amazing. Packing protons for 5. How many Endoras would you rate this show? 5 Endoras equals good for Darren. 1 Endora equals dead Dublin walking. She got his name wrong for you Utes. Speaking another Monsters reference.
I don't think there's a single Darren in this show.
There is a reference to Bewitched in the end credits. I will say that.
Well, there's a reference to literally anything that has ever had a witch in it. There's a scene from The Craft. There's Lisa Simpson dressed as a witch. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. What I love is that Marvin bothered to watch the credits.
Well, because it didn't have the next episode thing. So I was like, oh, is there a post-credit scene? Usually it gives me like we recommend you watch this next. And I sat through the whole credits and there was nothing.
Yeah, I was looking for an end credit scene and didn't get one. But that's
sounds
where
like the pre-credits.
Yep.
What do you want to bet they're so desperate that they did that deliberately to bump up the number of minutes watched?
Right.
Oh gosh.
Well, that won't pay off in the successive episodes though. And look, I mean, this thing needs as many watch minutes as it's going to get because really, what was there like? The first episode was 35 minutes of content?
35, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 40.
Because I was playing. Well, I was
content
planning,
or what?
If you cut out the bologna sausage of the credits, right, and the nonsense, and the title scene, but if you cut all that out, it's much less because I was planning on 80 minutes. I was planning on 80 minutes of television, and then I was like, oh no, it's not 80 minutes. Well, thank you. I may have knelt down and said thanks to. Said thanks.
Yeah, 40 for the second episode, 35 for the first episode, so 75 minutes, an hour and 15, and it really did not need to be more than half an hour.
And it felt like 4 hours. So there you go.
West True Blood the Third for $2, just when we thought they were turning the corner.
Oh.
By the way,
this sets them back tremendously.
I think people are going to have actually watched it for it to set them back, though.
So you don't think it'll make the Nielsen charts then? Because I'm leaning in that direction now. I think the first 2 will, and after that, I don't even think the finale will hit the Nielsen charts anymore.
Oh, no.
Something has to happen in order for people to watch it.
Well, it was boring. They gave you 2 episodes, and it was boring. Nothing happened.
It's like lesbian girl witches go on a Blues Brothers adventure with there was music, with no good music and no fun.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, the power of 1, the power of the 2, the power of many is way better than the Bell thing we were listening to.
Okay, here's something for you guys to chew on. We're not giving the numerical score yet. We'll do that in a moment, folks.
Yeah.
I think if you do a comparison, Acolyte episodes 1 and 2 are actually better than Agatha episodes 1 and 2.
Did I just hear that right?
Yeah, that's how bad this thing was.
Oh
boy!
Yeah. Now Acolyte got much worse, and I don't know how this can get worse. So
don't say that.
I would say episode 2 is better than episode 1, but that's because literally nothing happens.
Well, something happened in episode 2.
There was only 7 minutes of the action. Whatever. We'll talk about it in a second.
Keep it going.
Neil 89 Disco likes puns for $2. Hagatha.
I like it.
Actually, if this was a slasher, that would be a much more entertaining show.
Hey, T. Neil, is this your 10th super chat?
I do believe it is.
Yes,
it's
it is.
to Neil the 10th.
Packy Protons.
We have the same glitch.
For $2. What did Mike Zero think of this show?
We'll have to get to Mike in just a little bit. We'll have to get to him in a little bit. We've
Fayona,
already done a bit tonight, folks.
I bet it was the power of Manny Jacinto.
Oh,
he would have been a welcome addition to this show.
I thought it was the guy, the guy who died getting the Death Star, Manny Bothans, the Puerto Rican guy in Star Wars who died getting the information from
Manny Bothans.
I can get that for you.
Manny Bothans died to bring you this information.
Sutton Creek Productions member for 9. Congratulations on the 100K subs, bro.
Thank you, Sutton Creek Productions, and we'll keep moving and grooving as long as you all are ready to hang with us.
Tennille 89, speaking of witches hanging, for $2. Think I know why the actors were so defensive now.
Everybody who released this had to have known we are putting a turd into the world.
Load up on the Rainbow Shield. That's all I gotta say. Anyway.
Gay
That's not going to
explosion.
stop it. Not going to save them this time.
Is this also 8 episodes?
8
9
episodes. But they're releasing 2, and then single episodes until right before Halloween. And before Halloween, they're going to release 2 for the finale.
Yeah. Space Dave 2000 for $5 Canadian. My contribution to the mental health fund needed after this torturous time in your lives. Sanity, rest in peace. Oh, and congrats on 100K, Pro. Here's to 200K.
Yes.
Well, we'll get after it. And thank you all, because you all truly are the gigawatts that make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we haven't.
Nick Hayes.
Wait. No, I got to call timeout. We haven't done a clip in like 35 years.
Nick Hayes for $5. What are the chances that Iger had a hand in debate tampering, or was this Walden going rogue? Would she have the power, or is this from the tip top? I don't think they need to have Bob Iger involved, but I don't think he would be against it.
There's only one proper response to this. On the next episode of Space Dave 2000.
Well,
I have been revoked from any more clip usage, according to Jonas. I am sorry, folks. My clip abilities have been removed.
To Neil 89 for $2, still too much. Yeah. And for $5 more, thank you very much to Neil.
He's still trying to get to that 11th. That's what he's doing. That's why he's sending so many. He's like, one day my 11 will come.
I think I'd rather spend the $2 on an ice cream sandwich. Better return on investment. Well, in the words of Lucille Bluth, why don't you marry an ice cream sandwich?
Ooh, that's a reference. Well played.
Timothy Kennedy for $10. Thank you very much, Tim Kennedy. Disney Plus next promotion, $10 a month, paid out to anyone who will watch their horse droppings. Sorry, horse droppings. At least help fertilize roses.
Oh, God. I mean, we're pretty much down to free. I mean, like we said, after all of this inflation we've got to enjoy over the past few years, the cheap burgers at McDonald's are $4. Disney Plus is half of a cheap burger, so it's almost free.
Tennille 89 for $2. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
You've been hit by smooth Agatha.
Come on, guys. We're trying to read super chats here. Weirdness for $5.
Come on now. All right.
I just watched the Lego Batman movie, and Man in the Mirror plays heavily into the plot of that movie. Weird for $5 Australian. Some ordinary gamer got a blackmail letter. Wow. Muda will probably frame it. Casino, there is too much gay on screen. Some of them, some 40K to even it out.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'll work on that.
Weird for $2 Australian. Is this how they introduced the Bambi movie to the MCU?
Gosh.
Look, that Bambi 2 is like my favorite animated classic. It's great. Godzilla plays a role. It's wonderful.
I thought Bambi made a cameo in the Snow White trailer. You know, that spooky bug-eyed deer in the shadows that comes after her.
Oh wow, there are 5 jokes I cannot say on this channel right now.
Nope.
Yeah, weird. I'm not going to read that one, but I get it.
Hold on. Let me see if I can translate it, Jonas. You ready?
Okay, yeah, let's translate.
Agatha. Wait. Are you going to do it, Jonas, or me?
Go ahead.
Agatha raises apparel and dispenses with spectrum. Wait. Agatha lifts apparel and sprays spectrum of virtue.
Cast blood magic. Tennille 89 for $2. Don't do it, Lauren. You've got too much
you
to
didn't
live
say
for.
that. No.
Look, it's for charity.
It is for charity. And speaking of which,
I don't know
Ryan
her.
Matheson for $5. Make a wish. How
My
much
wish
do we
is
need
that
to
I
raise
didn't
here?
have to do this.
Oh, I think no, that's the organization, Make-A-Wish. I think that would be a great charity.
We'll think about which one. I know that there are many good charities out there. There's the one that sends the toys to the hospitals. There's St. Jude's. There's Make-A-Wish. We'll chat about it and figure it out. But yeah, we're gonna.
Should we set a target number though? Should we set a target number out there to get people thinking about it?
How about $40? John
I am
Maynard
not
for
doing this for $40.
Here is for the charity stream.
John Maynard, we've already reached it. Lauren is now he is now locked in.
Reggie Reg.
I can't believe, Jonas, you put that number out and just magically someone gave that.
John Maynard, thank you very much for your generosity. It's very kind.
I feel like that's a moment of celebration.
You know what? It's at least worth this.
God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts here on the WDW Pro channel, thank you.
He won't let me play longer clips right now, folks. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry. I want
Reggie Reg for $5. One free throw to save your life. Who takes it, Jordan or LeBron?
Oh, Jordan.
Oh, Jordan.
Go for Jordan.
No doubt.
LeBron, well, first of all, he's evil.
Dude, he's a professional mason. Dude is a bricklayer. Come on now.
I mean, just count the rings. That's all you need. Count the rings.
Tennille 89 for $5. How could it get worse? Not to worry, Pro. By episode 4, they'll find a way to make an Acme brand piano fall on you and for you to contract hemophilia.
Oh boy, that means you can't heal after you're bleeding. Speaking of which, I mean, you could. You need actually factor 9, but that's a whole other conversation. Look, I know people who got all 4 of the first episodes, and they say it does not get better.
Well, yeah. Can we just? I know I'm not supposed to play clips, and Jonas, you don't like this clip. I need to play it though, Jonas. It's so appropriate for what we've had to sit through. So, Jonas, and for any of you out there who might be offended by this, my apologies. Marvel offends me.
I'm single. Jump. Oh, you might want to trip in.
And see, kids, that's why we don't go watch Marvel movies. I told your parents not to take them. That Valkyrie, she's a creeper. You stay away from her now, you hear? And don't go to any more of those MCU movies, or else I won't even give you a sucker no more for it. They're dirty. They're dirty movies.
Yeah, but that's a real clip.
Yeah. Totally.
Look, Smithers, Garbo is coming. Yes, sir.
The Mum for $4.99 as of 11:09 p.m. Eastern Time. 9:18 Disney Plus canceled. They asked why, all the woke and anti-male content, and what you are doing to the parks. Platinum Pro in 100K. Thank you very much, The Mum.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much.
And I just want to point out that you have super chatted after the point at which we were reading super chats on several streams. I'm going to say The Mum for $1.99. Right. Jonas Pro CC and VR loves you no matter what. And also The Mum for $1.99. Thank you for going late. That was I appreciate you, and we do track them even after.
Never leave a super chat behind.
That's right. And Timothy Kennedy for I'm sorry, for $50. Yep, we're already to $90. Actually, 97. I'm going to count Tennille and Ryan Matheson in this. So, what was the number?
I think it was just 40, but we're already way past that.
We're way past that.
Yep. Old Renaissance Boomer for $5. Bet y'all really happy these shows don't do 26 to 36 per episode.
That's your mouth.
As shows used to do many years ago. I just got a copy of Star Trek, the original series on Blu-ray. I think that's like a 31 episode season.
Can you even imagine?
50 minutes apiece.
My friend recognizes real television, right? Back when we went from 32 to 24, and we were disappointed because their shows were shorter.
Can you even imagine if we had to watch 36 Agatha episodes to get through this?
No. I know.
We need rest. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Space Dave for $2 Canadian. I'm paying you to interrupt Jonas and play.
Hey, so let's talk about that clip playing thing there. I don't know about that. What do you think?
Yeah. I tried
to. Why?
Okay, I want to say that is an undervalued film.
You liked it, huh?
I thought it was an attempt at comedy that they were terrified to do. I thought there was several moments there where I was like, wow, most people wouldn't have tried to do that.
And Jonas, what did you think about the movie?
I did not go see it.
I declare.
See?
I'm sorry, Jonas, I didn't quite catch that.
I declare nudity.
I declare bankruptcy.
Actually,
all right, Jonas, I was paid to do that.
Show.
I only had to.
It was only $2.
It was.
Well, you have to do it 3 times.
Oh, so it's only $1 per dollar.
Culture, what are you trying to say up there about the
nothing important? Nothing important.
Gratuitous dermatology that was on display.
Look.
Howdy, everybody. Are you currently struggling with knowing that there's a turd that's about to pop out, and you might even know when, but you?
We don't. Punk Waddle is not allowed. Punk Waddle is not allowed to talk about Agatha right now. Okay.
Oh my. Nita Saybold Salt for $100. Lauren, I'll donate $100 to your favorite children's charity per each Acolyte episode. Where you're able to get through without barfing. Culture can film you.
First of all, I want to ask: is that a serious offer?
Oh, Nita is serious as sand.
And if it's a serious offer, I may watch them multiple times.
Oh! And Nita says, "I should not have done this."
I tell you what, Lauren, I will. You and I will get in a room together, and I will sacrifice time and my soul.
Every time you talk out of context, it sounds horrible. I'll just tell you.
Should we make this a drinking thing, like some kind of a drinking game?
I'm just looking forward to
it doesn't go through YouTube because YouTube takes a cut of all these. We want to make charity.
No.
I'm looking forward to a news organization covering the fact that we're making someone watch The Acolyte because of how terrible it is, and people are paying for a children's charity as he suffers. You know, there's going to be some. Look, Paul Tassi is going to lose his mind on this.
Can I offer that I will watch this with Lauren? Everybody should know I did not watch a single episode of The Acolyte, and I just feel bad for Lauren. I do not want to watch this show.
So here's how I see this going.
Just so he has some sympathy, I will watch this so that you don't feel
Ron
so bad.
and Lauren on a split screen, and we get to watch them as they're watching The Acolyte, and we get to watch their souls slowly wither inside them. But it's for children's souls.
Can I pop in and out just to mock them a lot?
You have to sit. You have to pop into the screen, but you're just sitting there slowly eating popcorn.
I thought you were joining me for this thing.
I'll be there. I will be there the whole time, Lauren. I promise you.
All right.
You know, I feel
Lauren,
like
I'm going to
Lauren
have you and Ron ship blue milk to drink while you watch it.
I also need to point out that the charity stream idea originally came from our good friend Packing Protons.
That's right.
I feel like Lauren gets a little bit better than we all got though, because Lauren gets to watch this knowing there's not going to be any more of it. We were all watching it like, is this just the first of 8 seasons? Like,
come on! I told you at the very beginning. I told you there's no way they're doing a season 2 of this, and I was right.
Oh, look, everybody here. Okay, by the way, the chat is undefeated tonight. You guys are crushing it. I'm like watching the chat, but look, fair play. I will be there the whole time, Lauren. I will not abandon you. I will be your light in the wilderness.
Your huckleberry.
Does that include for the multiple watchers if we're trying to raise more money for charity?
Sure. I mean, I will sacrifice sleep. I you know me. I'm all about charity, so you can't beat me back, dude. I'll do it. I'll do what you want to do.
All right. All right.
I'm going to tell you right now. You will lose the will to want to watch these more than once, bro. I'm going to tell you right
now. Luke Liederbach, member for 9. The real is Jordan or Larry to hit the shot. I mean, I think Larry Bird. I think he might be a little
Larry
bit
was
more...
money. Larry was money. But in the most clutch moments, like at the end of the game, do you give the ball to Larry or you give the ball to Jordan?
How far are you from the hoop?
It's 15 feet.
Larry.
Wow. Okay.
We're mid-court.
If I'm not mistaken,
mid-court, I think I'm going for Jordan.
Oh, I don't know about that.
If I'm not mistaken, and of course you go with Jordan, of course. But I'll say this. Now it could have changed over the last few years since I've not been paying as close attention to the NBA. But I believe still the player with the highest clutch statistics, that's stats for the final 2 minutes of the first half and second half. Would be Manu Ginobili. So there you go.
Oh,
Jordan or Ginobili.
So clutch. Oh,
I have not watched many professional basketball games in my life, but I have to go with Jordan because there was this one game that I watched where he was very heavily defended and he stretched his arm across the entire court to dunk the ball. Like it stretched like Mr. Fantastic. I've never seen anything like it before. It's one of 3 professional basketball games that I watched, and I was like, it doesn't get any better than this. I've officially been to 2 finals games. Jordan, hands down, probably the greatest basketball player I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen them all. And I know it's so hard not to pick Jordan for everything, but like 22 feet and out. I mean, nowadays, I think you'd pick somebody else. You'd probably pick Curry.
If you got to hit a 3-point, Larry Bird over Jordan. If you got to hit a 3-pointer with the clock running out.
Although his numbers got better at the end of his career, which never happens.
Look, man. Larry was on that golf course too, and the Toon Squad chose Michael Jordan.
That's a good point.
I'm just saying.
That's a good point.
You know what? Larry didn't mind so much. If Larry's back wasn't such a wreck, I think he'd have a longer career. He might be in the conversation about the scoring record.
Hey, that nose is pretty heavy, you know. Nom de plume for $4.99. Crab people.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I want to hear it.
Not right now.
Yes, now, Dusty Bun.
Wait. Okay.
I don't get
the crab people.
I don't get it.
The crab people shall finally reign supreme.
Crab people.
There you go.
There was a little power struggle going on there for you folks. Space Dave 2000 for $2 Canadian. I'm starting to think Pro enjoys torturing people. No, just me.
No, we're just we're just reflecting what we've went through tonight. Just reflecting it.
Okay, I'm gonna have better posture and say,
all right, guys, we got to give this thing a score. Lauren, you don't get to give it a score because you are going to be doing that next week.
You avoided it.
Are we scoring 1 and 2 together or just
no? Yes, 1 and 2 together. I don't have time to do.
That's really difficult because that's very uneven.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Okay.
All right.
We'll go around the horn, starting with culture, working our way to Ron, then Jonas, then me, then Marvin, Episode 1. No time to really give a whole lot of exposition about it. Just give us your score. 0 to 10. 0 is hot garbage. 10 is the best thing you've ever seen. 5 is average. Culture.
Episode 1 was a 1.
Ron.
1.
Jonas.
Well, 2. I guess I was at 3, but everyone's like, it's a 1.
You're contrarian tonight, aren't you?
I'll give it a 1.5. Marvin.
I would also give it a 1.5 just because I don't want to go as high as Jonas.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Episode 1, folks, gets a 1.4 out of 10. Okay, let's type that up. Episode 1. 1.4 out of 10. There you go. I didn't even put the episode 1 on it. It's this show's so terrible.
Episode
1.4 out of 10.
It's about right.
Yep. All right, let's talk about episode 2, and we'll see what you guys think about that one. There you go, folks. Episode 1, 1.4 out of 10.
That's his 11. That's his 11.4 out of 10.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be a problem.
You're spaced out,
right.
Marvin. All right, go culture.
Okay. Believe it or not, it went up dramatically. 3.5.
All right, 3.5. Ron, your turn.
3.
4.
2.5. Marvin.
2.
Wow.
All right. Survey says episode 2 is a 3 out of 10.
You know, there's also a part of me that wants to go, and not that I'm watching the show again, but would rescore these things after, because there's at least some potential introduced in episode 2 of things that could happen. Yeah. But if they never get to anything with that potential, then it's obviously lesser.
So, guys, these are worse scores than we gave the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte, if that gives you any indication of what kind of torture we are headed for.
Look, I only require that you be in focus to get about a half a point, maybe even a full point. Cinematography wasn't terrible. The first episode was a waste of an idea with a procedural, as Jonas pointed out. I mean, I could go on for like 25 minutes giving you a breakdown of what was good and bad about just the first episode. But I will say this. Everybody that's an actor here is a professional, and they deliver what they were given.
Mm-hmm.
What scares me about what you guys are saying is that this show is so bad that The Acolyte's going to be a palate cleanser.
Not yet.
No.
The Acolyte got way worse as time went on. In fact, The Acolyte, the finale of The Acolyte received a 0.4 on this channel. From everybody involved, a 0.4 for the finale. So let's not forget that.
That's one of the reasons I have been very hesitant to want to watch this at all, because both you and Culture were visibly angry, which I've never seen. That's worrying when you actually get angry about the show. I mean, I get being excited, but this was like was fury.
Yeah, but some of that, I'm sorry, I'm just going to jump on that. Some of that might have been on my behalf. Is that I was in love with Star Wars as a 7-year-old boy.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
So when I have no affection towards this character. That I could care 2, dung piles. What this Marvel
episode 1 and episode 2, yeah.
Sure.
When you're dragging me back to The Acolyte. When a father figure who, in every way I could possibly see, acted heroically. He killed the smoke monster. When the father figure is choked out while tears fall from his eyes, and he whispers out in his last moments, "I love you," and that is treated as a moment of overcoming the patriarchy, and he's the villain. I was like, this is garbage written by evil people. And evil people.
You know what? You're right. You're right, Pro. I think that was so disheartening. It was like, it was so hard.
It's evil. It was evil. And the fact that they were given $200 million to make something that's evil and propagate evil to kids. Terrible. All right, well, let's go to something that Lauren can comment on. Folks, we're going to wrap up tonight with a story about Star Wars. Oh, yeah, Lauren, you're going to get to do this one with us. Here we go. This is by Ryan Dinsdale. It's out of IGN, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for Disney. And you know what? The sun will come out tomorrow. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow waiting at the end of every day. There are some good Disney stories on the way, just not many. Donald Glover thinks Star Wars has become a little too serious, wants to make Lando fun. It's the price you pay for being successful. Let me just say that again. It's the price you pay for being successful. Star Wars, successful. Let me read this, and I'm going to tell you what the interesting angle is about all of it. Lando star Donald Glover thinks Star Wars has become a little too serious and wants to bring fun back to the galaxy far, far away. Glover told the Wall Street Journal he believes Star Wars needs to be fun and suggested recent films. I don't know what those are. There's been a recent film? Someone call me and let me know what that was. Have veered away from that. He wants to use his character Lando Calrissian's status as a scoundrel to create a fun film that people can relate to. I just wanted to be fun, Glover said when asked what one thing he wants to bring to Lando, which was originally announced as a Star Wars story spinoff show, but is now being developed as a movie. Now, guys, this is news to me, and I cover this every single day. I spend large amounts of time. This is my job. This is news to me that this is still in development. So that is amazing, one. But here's why it's amazing. Get ready, okay? So he says, as a Star Wars fan myself, I think it's important that there needs to be fun being had. It's very hard to have fun right now. It's tough because there are very serious things happening, and those are the only things that connect us weirdly. Folks, there have always been hard things going on in the world. Deal with it. So I get why things are serious, but part of the human experience, I believe, is we have a responsibility to have enjoyment. And I just feel like we're lacking in that department. Star Wars, I love it, but sometimes it can be super serious. Super serial even. Sometimes it be like way too serious. Did they seriously write it that way?
So he's saying it's tough to be happy because there's such terrible things happening. Vietnam happened. And people were still doing like happy-go-lucky like television shows during the time. So
if I'm not mistaken, Miracle on 34th Street came out just after the end of A Horrible Thing. Anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
But did they seriously write this? Sometimes it be like way too serious.
Yeah.
Well, everything that has to do with the Skywalkers is like so serious.
But he also said that.
Did you hear that? Everything that has to do with the Skywalkers is the problem with Star Wars? I'm sorry, there were no Skywalkers in the Acolyte. There were no Skywalkers in Endor. There were no Skywalkers in other than Luke. I mean, essentially, there's no Skywalkers in the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Okay. Rinse of soybeans is an abomination. But look,
but they're trying to distance themselves from the George Lucas stuff here and try to say, oh, it's all that George Lucas stuff that's the problem. We need to get away from that Skywalker era. This to me is propaganda trying to say.
Well, get ready because I'm going to tell you how desperately pathetic this is. Culture, what was your thought before we move to that?
You do realize A, this is IGN.
Yes.
And B,
we're one step above Rolling Stone and not by much.
They don't even know what this is. They can't tell you the difference between whether this is a show or a movie.
Well, they can't tell you what it means to actively be worked upon. Ready for this? Lando has no release date. Oh, really? Go figure. This thing was told to us back in 2017, and we haven't heard a thing about it. This has been in development for 7 years with nada, zip, not a single thing, zilch. Okay, and you know what it means to be in active development now? Let me tell you what it means to be in active development now. Glover mentioned previously in the interview that he and his brother Steven meet up to talk about it. They go to Subway. They go to the Waffle House, and for 5 minutes they talk about Star Wars. So it's actively in development. And look, the project has otherwise fallen in and out of obscurity. No, it hasn't. It's only been in obscurity because it's not actually in development since it was first teased in 2018. And you know what? If it was teased in 2018, then it had to have been given the go-ahead in 2017. And you know what? That's 7 years of absolutely nothing. And I'm telling you right now, Donald Glover must be absolutely so desperate to pretend like he's making a movie that we all know is not going to be made. There's no way this is going to be made. But he and his brother meet at Burger King twice a year to talk about it. So it's in development. Lauren, I'm going to give it to you. Are you looking forward to more droid loving?
Wow.
I'm going to be weirdly the optimist on this story.
We need that in this world, Lauren. That's why we're giving you the charity stream.
Because
you're an angel.
I think, do I think it's going to be made? Probably not. Did I like Donald Glover's portrayal of Lando? Yes, I did.
This is why you're a bearded angel. Continue on.
Outside of the stuff with L3. Now, there's lots of ways you can interpret what he said. I don't think he's wrong to say that we do need fun in Star Wars. I don't think we've had fun in Star Wars for a long, long time. So if you take that statement at face value, he ain't wrong.
What makes it not fun, though, Lauren?
Well,
is it the Skywalkers, or what is it? What makes it not fun? Why are we not having fun with Star Wars anymore?
Is it the lesbian space witches?
I'm also not going to disagree with him that the Skywalkers have become radioactive. I don't know that there's a way that you can deal with the Skywalkers that's going to please the entire fan base. That doesn't mean I think you should get away from them. But
well, we've still got almost 800 people in the audience, and 600 of them are now singing radioactive in their head. And it's all your fault. Continue on.
All I'm saying is that I think that they are in a very bad place, and I think a good place to start would be, let's just make something fun. Now, in my defense, or as a detraction against me, I guess, depending on how you feel, I did like Solo. I liked Solo. I understand it's a bad movie, but it's a bad movie that I personally enjoyed, and I would have liked to have seen a continuation of it, especially if they were doing something in the corporate sector. And I think that that's fertile ground to have both Han and Lando return. Do I think that's what they do? No, not necessarily. I would be interested to see how would Donald handle this. If he wanted to do a solo Lando story, I mean, solo as in just Lando, not with Han, and do swinging adventures where he's in discotheques and partying and gambling and having a good time.
I think
that could be fun.
The word swinging in that one.
Right. But what I'm saying is that if you're just showing him being a Billy D. Williams style character, having fun and having adventures in the Star Wars universe without being too serious and without going too jokey, I'd be up for that. But there's a real delicate balance you have to walk to hit that tone that you need to hit. I'm not necessarily confident that he could pull that off.
How's this one for you, though? If Star Wars was a very successful franchise right now, then you could probably do a quirky, strange, spin-off kind of movie. They can't hardly get the Mandalorian movie out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They can't get the Rey movie done. And we're going to do some sort of, Austin Powers style Lando film.
I wouldn't go that far. That's not exactly what I'm suggesting. But I think that you could do maybe something that is before Solo, where you see Lando in his Millennium Falcon, having some gambling adventures and getting in trouble with various crime lords and having some fun. I think there's ways you could do that. Doesn't have to be a giant. One of the big problems with Star Wars is that they keep trying to make these giant epic stories when really Star Wars is about the characters. So you focus on the characters, you can tell a small story that has big stakes for the characters, and I think an audience buys into that. That's where I think they're running into trouble, is they don't know how to hit the tone, and they don't understand what makes the audience hook in. They think it's all the spectacle. It's really about the characters. So if you nail the characters, and if you do them right, the rest will follow.
Darn it, Lauren, you're making me agree with you. I need to get a counter position to help me pull back to the other side of this. Marvin, in your days as a discount fortune teller, you had an accuracy that was slightly approximating 50%. What do you say in regards to the chances of a Lando Calrissian movie starring Donald Glover actually happening might be? What do you think?
It's a 0.0 chance. I think the way that you could have done this show, and by the way, I do agree with everything Lauren just said, but I think the way to do this show would have been to have it be Donald Glover and Billy D. Williams, and to do kind of like an Arrow style storyline where you have a present day story and a past story that you go back and forth between that feeds into each other, like a mystery that had to be solved when he was a young man that comes back when he's an old man. And that would have been a really great way to do it, to do justice to the character. But just Billy D. Williams, I mean, sorry, just Billy D. Williams would be wonderful, but just Donald Glover, I don't think it would work, especially with, we've learned what his idea of fun in Star Wars is. It was Phoebot Waller-Bridge. And nobody needs that.
You can't blame that on Donald. He didn't write that script. He was just doing what he was given in the script. The other thing that I would say is that older versus younger dynamic was already done in the Last Shot novel by Daniel Jose Older, and it was awful. It was some of the worst Star Wars fiction I've ever read in my life. Now, I don't think that they would adapt that. I sure hope they wouldn't. But
don't give them ideas, Lauren.
It's already been done. So I think that if you tried to do something like that, they just call it probably an inferior knockoff.
That's also
well, guys. I've had a good time tonight. I had a hard time getting through the 2 episodes, and it was a horrible, horrible experience. But somehow I think we've all grown together.
No.
Do you feel that way, Culture?
No, I feel like I've had bouts of nausea, exhaustion, terror.
Ron's got irritable bowel syndrome. Jonas has irritable Agatha syndrome.
Honestly, though, these are the best part. This is like a cathartic event where we can come together and celebrate the terribleness of the things that we used to love. But I look, I'm not going to do a review on this on my channel. This is more than appropriate. I won't. I'll just talk about the show broadly on my channel. But I reserve this time as special, where we can all share an experience together and suffer and suffer.
You know,
and I can't wait.
It's like going to confession, but for other people.
Oh, indeed!
We're confessing on their behalf. How terrible they are.
I feel like I'm walking into Leslie Headland's Marquis de Sade Palace of Pleasure, and I'm being subjected to it all.
The thing that I said while watching this. Go ahead, Ron.
No, I was just gonna say, I feel like we're coming together, and like in a group, like we're starting down a road together. Do I feel a song coming on that we should all? Sing? No.
Where's the bell? Somebody find the bell.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
No! The one thing that I say, I've said ever since Endgame. I said it while She-Hulk was twerking. I said it while Echo and the magical native women defeated the Kingpin. I've said it so many times, and I said it again while they were doing the musical number in this. I look at the screen and I go, Tony Stark died for this to save this universe.
This is not Tony Stark's universe. I don't know what this is. It's not. This has no connection to what Marvel was for a decade. I mean, none of these characters exist in any world that looks anything like that world. They look like Ron, unfortunately, right now. Ron, you've never looked so dark. You have a dark side.
Well, you got a panty on your head.
Jonas, bring up the super chats.
Hawaii Dragon Star for $5. Would you rather have them have Japan's Super Sentai Kamen Rider 52 episodes at 25 minutes each? It's considered a badge of respect, being I'm those shows.
Let me say this. If it's a average show or better, I'm in. If it's what we just watched, 8 or 9 is plenty enough.
Tim Kennedy for $10. I think you need a new review scale. Call it the vacuum scale for those shows that'll really stink.
I think watching these together, I figured it out, guys. It's like we're all putting our hands in that bullet ant thing from the jungles. Like, it is immense suffering, and we don't know why we do it, but we're stronger on the other side somehow.
Yep. JPS for $5. Disney has become the afternoon yak from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Can I just say this? I agree with Pro, but I feel like it's more like we all got together and we stuck our hand in that box from Dune.
Did we drink the
All
stuff
right.
too?
All I know is I'm
The
not
worm
making.
juice?
All I know is, however much that hurts, I'm not going to let her stab me.
Yep. And the last super chat of the night here, Dustin Sensenig for $2. Culture, your reactions are on point. You need a thumbs up. Thank you, Dustin.
All right, folks, before we go, I'm going to put a poll up there because we believe in our audience.
Oh, because we have time for a poll. Culture. What's your name? I'm sorry, I co-hosted with Culture earlier today. I'm very tired, bro.
All right, it's going to take 1 minute, folks. We're polling you. We don't know if our audience cares anything in this world about Arcane, which is coming out. I think that's Netflix, right? That's Netflix in November.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want us to review Arcane live, we'll do it. If you're like, I don't even know what that is, then let it be. Culture, you had something?
Just a lot of whats. What?
I just listen.
Really?
If we're gonna do, we got to find something positive to review so people can have a comparison point and say, this is what they're like when it's a good thing to watch.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
We got to. I mean, it can't just be Beetlejuice, which we gave a 9.4.
Can we review like Reacher or something?
We could, yeah. You want to review Reacher? I mean, that guy hates us. So
he can hate us, but the show's good.
You know who doesn't hate us? Jonas.
Oh,
it's Joe. Joe doesn't hate us.
Joe
doesn't hate us.
Joe doesn't hate us.
Joe doesn't hate us.
No.
I think Jonas is not quite catching on yet. So
I'm
we'll
sorry.
do it for him.
What do we?
Joe Eager for $20.
Sorry, I was not catching on. Sorry, I thought we were still talking about Reacher here for a second. Joe Eager for $20. Acolyte, Space Witches, or Agatha? Which is better? Ooh, I'm gonna go. If are we talking about dateability here? I'm gonna have to go with the Agatha ones because at least nope. They added a dude in there too. Never mind.
Actually, you do have a thing for Deborah Jo Rupp.
I mean, if it good enough for Red Foreman, you know.
Debbie Joe. Acolyte, Space Witches, or Agatha.
AKA lesbian Earth Witches.
If we're comparing the witches, the Agatha witches are better because the Acolyte witches had no personality whatsoever. I mean, it was basically like how many forms are protruding from their faces.
Sorry, that just came out.
Plus on a vulnerable. Go ahead.
Sorry, I apologize. I have to drop.
Okay.
I've got to get my kid's medication ready. So
go get him.
I'll see y'all later. And
Lauren, looking forward to the charity stream and get caught up on Agatha. You poor victim of a man.
Poor man. Yeah.
See y'all soon.
See you, Lauren.
I'll just say that if you're judging the witches on weakness so far, the space witches are losing because they all died at once.
It's true. Well, just like the droids in Phantom
There's still
Menace.
a chance.
It was like the head of the coven was like the control ship.
There's still a chance that these could just die all at once. Like they could do that fainting thing. Maybe they'll sing themselves to permanent sleep and we'll all walk away from the TV and go, well, that was better than expected.
Space Dave 2000 for $2 Canadian. Review the 2024 presidential election.
That's like channel the Squad killed the Justice League. Don't do that. It's a bad idea.
So the other thing is, according to our corporate overlords, they say that the election won't be known. The results won't be known until days afterwards. So folks, forget about the 200 years of us knowing the election results the day of. That's never happened. You're not allowed to know that's happened. Memory hold the whole 2 centuries of it, and welcome to the new world where you can't know until days after. Yay!
I'll be on a ship. I'll be on a ship in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. Well, we may all be needing to get into a ship in the middle of the ocean, depending on how this thing goes and depending on how much turmoil there is. Anyway, that's a pleasant way to look at things. Folks, we've had a dandy of a time with all of you out there, and we're so happy that you joined us. Don't know if you'll be joining us again, but we do see that 66% of you want us to do Arcane. I don't know if we'll have the same panel, but we'll definitely do that for you. Culture is so excited to do Arcane, I can just tell. But we'll be happy to have you all there. And folks, we hope you'll join us for the next Agatha After Party as we continue to agonize through all of this. Remember, we're doing it every single Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern all the way until Halloween. We're also doing, by the way, a special 100K Pro Show celebration Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a ton of guests, but we're also going to be making huge announcements, major changes coming to the channel, all of them intended to bring you even more and better content and do some, well, fancy things I don't think you ever imagined we would attempt. Make sure that you go subscribe to Culture Casino, follow the Bradley's Fun, and Tooneytown TV. And oh yeah, noon tomorrow, you'll see Jonas J. Campbell over there at that fancy schmancy place they call That Park Place. Jonas, we've got one more super chat before we.
That's right. Jacob Foxfires for 5, just dropping by, and I must wonder, who was Agatha in the comics? Like, was she a villain? To whom? Still don't know and don't bother to care. I believe she was the babysitter for the two twins in the comics, and turned out to be a witch.
She was very old, very, very old in the comics.
Yes, she didn't look like Catherine Hahn.
Oh,
so.
Well, she looked like Aunt May.
Yeah,
or Aunt B. Yeah. You gotta love those. You gotta love those aunts/aunts with single syllable names. They're easily remembered. Folks, we hope you easily remember all of our wonderful and esteemed panelists from tonight. Go subscribe to them. And we're going to send you on over to Vacation Radio, where we'll continue to give you brand new tunes each and every day, 365, 24/7. You get the idea. Until the next time, folks, let's run the outro, and you all keep running along with us. Thanks again for 100K in 21 months. Wow. The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint!
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.